So, good afternoon, and thank you for having me join today. I am with TRC, and I'm here to talk briefly about our Energy Smart Homes program. There we go. And here we go. So, quick agenda. This is what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about why we're electrifying, what some of the advanced energy measures are, and end with some incentive program dollars that are available for electrification, both on residential new construction projects and for retrofit or alterations, as we call them, and some questions. So why electrify? So what is it? So building electrification is when there are no gas end uses, and it is the act of installing electric heating, cooking equipment, heat pump water heaters, heat pump space conditioning systems. I think we all understand, since we're here today, why it's so important, but it's really necessary. The sooner we get this done, the better, because California has an aggressive decarbonization goal to meet. A frequent question I get is why would I want an all electric home? Well, I can confirm there's efficiency and cost savings, and primarily health and safety. So that's something we should all really consider. Okay, today the majority of homes use natural gas in California for space heating, water heating, and cooking. So many jurisdictions are working to implement REACH codes and ordinances that support decarbonization. As of April 10th, the city of Carpinteria was the last one to officially join the listing of jurisdictions that have passed all electric building codes or ordinances. And again, I think this group understands. So all electric homes are healthier homes. A few facts about why all electric homes are healthier, and that's that improved indoor air quality. Gas stoves do not have the same pollutants, or they do have the pollutants. I'm reversing that. And then the reduced maintenance on electric appliances, they typically require a lot less maintenance. So that's an additional cost savings, as well as the reduced carbon footprint and increased home comfort. So this is one of my favorite slides to share. It demonstrates that electrification trend started about 50 years ago here in California. In 1954, Governor Reagan had his catchphrase, "You can live better electrically." And that has continued as a priority on both sides of the aisle here in California. In the middle, we've got Governor Schwarzenegger with Greta Thunberg demonstrating how the issue really resonates with residents and people throughout the planet of all ages. So it's not just this group. And then on the far right, we've got Governor Newsom, who's continuing to champion the clean energy investments today. All right, I'm going to talk about some advanced energy measures. We've got the all-electric home advantages with the heat pump heating and cooling, heat pump water heating, and induction cooking. And I'll just share that heat pumps' real climate superpower is their efficiency. An interesting fact, heat pumps help lower heating costs because they move heat. They move the heat rather than generate it. And another important item I like to share is that the resale value on homes that already have heat pump technology installed, they sell for 4 to 7% more compared to similar homes with traditional HVAC systems. So it's really an investment in your own future when you make this transition. So there's the heat pump, heating and cooling, and basically it's almost like a buy one, get one, because one unit will heat and cool. That is really an efficiency measure, and again, space saving measure, as well as a maintenance saving measure. They provide greater efficiency, and a lot of smaller spaces are including ductless mini splits that allow for room by room heating and cooling. So many of us are working from home anymore, and if you can just heat or cool the room you're in. That's a lot more efficient than heating your whole upstairs or downstairs just to support that one person working from home. So, all right. So induction cooking. Induction is really faster and safer and better for the environment. That even heat transfer is super important, and there's a less risk of burning or over boiling your food because once you cut the heat, it's off. It's not like that residual heat that continues to keep your food cooking if it's still on the burner. So it's easy cleanup and you'll never burn another dish towel again. So I think we've all had our share of singed dish towels from grabbing something from the stove. So there's two additional advanced energy technology I wanted to touch briefly on, and one is a heat pump water heater, and there's zero greenhouse gas emissions in those units. And they also store fresh drinking water. So I hear a lot of folks like, whoa, what if we lose power? Well, here we go. Your heat pump water heater will have fresh drinking water available in such an emergency. Heat pump clothes dryers are great for small spaces, such as an ADU, because it does not require a venting duct. It's basically a plug and go, and they have great energy efficiency. All right, we're going to move here to electric ambiance and comfort options. So I've got two I like to share. So we have electric fireplaces and we have outdoor electric patio space heaters. So the benefits of both is they do provide that swirling fire-like mist with LEDs for indoors. They're less expensive than gas counterparts, and they plug into a normal 120-volt wall outlet. They provide heat a more efficient and smokeless way. Smokeless, there's your option right there. And the patio space heaters are much lighter and easy to move, and they require lower clearance. So you can put it on almost any patio without the fear of burning anything because there's no combustible gas. All right, EV readiness is also really trending. It's basically driving on sunshine. So the road ahead for zero emission vehicles basically starts in 2035. That bans the sale of new vehicles in California that are powered by an internal combustion engine. So that includes gasoline, diesel, and even hybrid electric vehicles. They run cleaner, they're quiet, and they're really fun to drive. EVs are also getting closer to matching the sticker price of gas cars. There's still a ways to go, but they're getting closer. So Plugstar has an incentive finder for anyone thinking about their next electric vehicle. It makes shopping simple. They've got a helpline, shopping support for consumers with questions. And then they have a zip code lookup. Here's where I'm going to start showing you the money. The zip code lookup has available incentives, rebates, and vehicle tax credits in your area. So it just really makes the shopping experience less painful when you can help find avenues to pay for it. All right, next up is that electrification roadmap that's so important. So I heard a lot of folks talking today about retrofit. So start with that energy audit to identify your current energy use and areas for improvement. Make a plan, determine which appliances you're going to electrify, create a timeline, and then research for those potential incentives and rebates and other funding sources. I'm going to touch on those in a minute, but they're really important, again, to help improve your cost benefit analysis there. Find a contractor, notify your utility provider, apply for incentives if they're available, and then install and enjoy. That's the most important part, is install and enjoy. So finding a qualified contractor is really important. Anytime you're removing gas, you don't want to do it yourself. You don't want your next door neighbor to help you out. So I'm sharing here a slide about the switches on. The switcheson.org is a great resource where you can put in your zip code, what you're looking to do, and it helps you search, connect, and compare prices and availability. Sometimes, they've got a great price, but they don't have availability to work on your particular project for 3, 6, sometimes even 12 months. We've heard it all. So understanding the return on your investment, it's going to vary again based on when your home was built, the age and condition of your existing equipment, and then what matters most to you. Are you looking for a safer home? Are you looking to build a passive house home? Are you just looking to, ditch the gas? So there's all kinds of impacts on your particular property. Older homes do sometimes require additional electric service and amperage to support electrical upgrades. So really do keep that in mind. Okay, next, what you've been waiting for are incentives from California Energy Smart Homes that can help pay for your electrification journey. So we have two options I'm going to share quickly. The first is about whole building electrification incentives. And these are for those existing single family homes, ADUs, townhomes, condos, anyone who's wanting to cut the gas and electrify completely. So the incentives are available for properties in PG&E, Southern California Edison, and San Diego gas and electric territories, and require replacing all fossil fuel combustion equipment with the advanced electrical systems I have included below, which focuses on heat pump technology for heating, cooling, and water heating, induction cooking, and electric clothes dryer. And then there's some additional incentive dollars for infrastructure upgrades. Right here, I can share with you our per unit incentives. So the number 2023 would be if you started and completed your project and you closed out all the permits in 2023, the single family dwelling unit is $5,550. If you have some infrastructure that needs to be upgraded, such as a panel needs to be moved, upgraded, additional circuits, there's an additional bonus of up to $1,000. There's also money for your ADUs. If you have an ADU in your backyard and you're like, oh, I got to get the gas out of there, I've got incentives for that too. The heat pump dryer bonus is that it's just a bonus. It's not required, but if you're considering a heat pumped dryer, there you go. There's some additional funding for it. Okay, next up is for the new construction. I heard a lot of folks talking about being in the industry, and architects included, like making the move to passive house, which is all electric. This talks here about the prerequisites and eligibility, and there's some items listed out here that are the prerequisites to participate for the incentive. Most importantly is the space heating and cooling must utilize heat pump technology. So electric resistance is a no-go for this program. And here are the incentive dollars. Again, this is per unit. So if you're building a single family home, just one, and you complete it in 2024, once you have that certificate of occupancy available and you submit your application and the plans, and we do some checking along the way just to verify that you've met all our program requirements, there's an incentive of $3,000 for projects that close in 2024. All right, this is my last slide, and then we'll get to questions. So there are some additional layering incentives and rebates available, and I encourage everyone to take advantage of every dollar that's available. So Tech Clean California, the REN in your area, oftentimes your local CCA, which is there's sort of a conduit where you can purchase that cleaner energy, and your water district might have additional incentives available. And then we have the IRA tax credits for single family homes that are anticipated in 2024. Now, these are tax credits, and then there are also some rebates. So I wanted to open this up to questions, and I'll take those now, but I'm going to leave this on the screen while I'm taking some questions. So we also have my colleague, Reagan Heim. He's here to answer questions about energy smart homes. So, Jay, do we have some questions? Or anyone in the audience, questions?
Can I ask a question on heat pumps?
Absolutely, please.
In California, most people have a ducted system in their single-family residence, and many people don't really like to have those inside units for their heat pumps. So they typically ask to reuse that ducting system, and so you end up putting pretty large systems in houses, and you end up dealing with the fact that in California, the distribution of heat pumps is happening through a pretty opaque system of distributors, and so far, it's really expensive for people to upgrade to heat pumps in California, and probably more than in other states where the regulation on installers and distribution is different. And so maybe you and maybe with Mark Costa, I understand works on regulatory, we can have a point of view on this.
So as far as the incentives for the program, that is a prerequisite that heat pump technology is used, but it can be a ducted system or a ductless mini split system. We are seeing a lot of tax credits for those who make that transition as well to help cover that cost. I think as far as what the regulations are throughout the state, I can share that the program does require heat pump technology for space heating and cooling.
Is there can a regular contractor install a heat pump and still benefit from the incentive, or do you only get the incentive if you get it installed through a specialized HVAC?
Very good question. So we do not have a listing of approved contractors. We do only require that the contractor that is doing work on the home is licensed in the state of California. So it does not, it could be anyone who is licensed. That's a really good question. And we just got some docs here about some links in the chat about everything you need to know about heat pump installation costs. So Mark, thank you for sharing that. Are there any additional questions about California Energy Smart Homes and electrifying your home and getting some rebates to do that?
Are there any income restrictions on these rebates?
There are zero income restrictions. That's a very good question. These are available to anyone. Any property owner can apply, and then it's up to the property owner to decide, do they want the incentive check to go directly to them, or do they want it to pay their contractor directly? We can do whatever the property owner is requesting. So that makes it easy. It is not directly only to a contractor. We work with the property owner, and they can designate where they want their incentive check to be sent. And the incentive check will come from TRC. It will not come from one of the utilities. And we are, in my opinion, much easier to reach.